Well, what we're going to do here is deal with 3 equations and 3 variables, and so we have to solve this system. So we're given this, that z equals 1. Okay, z equals 1. Now we'll work our way up to the next equation where we have minus 7y plus 6z equals 20. Now I'm going to replace that z with a pair of parentheses and equals 20, and inside the parentheses I'll put the value of z, which is 1. So now we have negative 7y plus 6, because 6 times 1 is 6, equals 20. Now we'll add opposites. So the opposite of 6 is negative 6. And simplify this and we get negative 7y equals 14. Now we'll multiply by the reciprocal of negative 7, which is negative 1/7. Both sides, we're going to do that to both sides, negative 1/7. And the product of reciprocals is 1, and 1 times y is y. And 7 goes into 14 twice, and that's going to be a negative. So now we know y equals negative 2. So now let's go to the top equation where we have x plus y minus z equals negative 1. Now we'll leave x as x, we'll replace y with a pair of parentheses, minus, and z with a pair of parentheses, equals negative 1. So y is negative 2, z is 1. So let's keep going. So x minus 2, plus times a minus is a minus, minus 1 equals negative 1. So x minus 3 equals negative 1. So adding 3 to both sides, we'll get x, and negative 3 plus 3 is 0 equals, and 3 plus negative 1 is 2. So now we know what x is, so the ordered triple is, the solution is 2 for x, negative 2 for y, and 1 for z. And if you take those values and plug them into x, y, and z in this equation, you'll get true statements. So now we'll do another one of these 3 equations and 3 variables. So z equals 1. They've given us that. So our second equation is y minus z equals negative 2. Replacing z with parentheses, and we get a negative 2 on the right side. And I'll replace z, for z we'll put in a 1. So now we have y minus 1 equals negative 2, adding 1 to both sides, adding opposites. 1 plus 1 plus 1. We get y equals negative 1. Now we know what y is. We know what z is. It's z equals 1. Now we'll take the top equation, which is x minus 2y plus 3z equals 7. So we're going to replace y with parentheses. We're going to replace z with parentheses, and equals 7. So y we're going to In the parentheses for y, we'll put a -1, and the parentheses for z, we'll put a 1 in. So now we have x, and minus times a minus is a plus, plus 2, and 3 times 1 is 3, plus 3 equals 7. So x plus, gathering up like terms, 5 equals 7. So now we'll subtract 5. We'll add opposites, in other words. We want to isolate x. So x equals 7 minus 5, or x equals 2. And our solution set is x is 2, y is -1, and z is 1. And there we have it. So please practice just what I did over and over again until you can do it without looking, and when it comes to test time, you'll be in good shape.